Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, this is December 19th, Thursday. Actually, tomorrow's the last day before I take a week off next week to go
Yes.
to California.
Oh man, I'm so excited for you.
Mm.
And you've got to really take a week off, like really be gone, like off the internet and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a week off my Patreon too. No live streams at all. Just refresh, get energized for 2025.
Your family will be so grateful. A lot of
Yeah.
times, Matt and I, our little families, they're always like, "When are you gonna be done?" Because we're always like on the computer, always on the phone, uh, doing stock stuff for you guys. Because we love it. We're addicts. We're not addicted. We can stop anytime we want.
No, we can't. I can't. I'll probably still be on Patreon. Be like, okay, I'll do chart requests. Okay.
Oh, yeah, right. No. You got to put the thing down and hang out with your
Yeah,
girl and your
I
brother.
need some downtime. I need some downtime. That's for
Exactly.
sure.
You all need downtime. So let's see. Good morning, everybody. Matt will just do the indices as usual here. There wasn't
Yeah,
anything big to report yesterday, right? It was kind of boring day yesterday, right? Nothing happened.
I don't even know what had happened. I like people were saying markets were down. I don't know. I didn't see that, but I'm just joking. But actually, there was some damage done to IWM here on the daily chart, and it did actually break through some levels, but it is kind of reclaiming that a little bit pre-market. So what I can see here is that 100-day moving average is 222.49. So that's going to be the focus, just to stay above to reclaim that, because the more it breaks below levels and stays below, then the longer it'll take to recover. So really watching the daily cloud to 223.39. So just trying to get back into support ranges. And on the weekly chart here, nothing was broken at all. It just back tested the baseline and the 702. So a much deeper back test than anybody was anticipating, especially me. I was thinking, okay, yeah, this 226 might be all that it's going to do, or even on log scale here, like the 223 max. But baselines are normal to retest too on weekly charts. So this is perfectly healthy so far. No momentum really is lost on the high time frame because it's still above the baseline, still above the cloud, still above all these averages. It's only below the conversion line up here. So I really am not worried at all about this. It's just maybe more time, right? Because it's still a little bit extended from the cloud here. So possibly more weeks to come before it really wants to break into all-time highs. But I'm more than certain, like 98% sure, this is going to break into all-time highs sometime early next year. So with that said, let's
Yeah.
go to the QQQ. Yeah, the QQQ, no damage at all. It never even broke or even touched the conversion line. So this one is perfectly healthy. That support is 511 SPY. Basically, it retested that 585. I've been talking about that number the whole time. It got to 585.89. So it couldn't even touch the 585.38. That's how strong of a rally this still is. And even pre-market, it's getting back above the 588 conversion line. So the only thing that had a little bit more damage than the others is the IWM, which just means maybe a little bit more time to get the all explosive everything together rally. So they're trying to shake people out before everything blasts off over and over and over again. Just don't let them take your shares. Don't let them do it. Don't
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
almost a symptom I was saying of too many people over leveraging, and getting they're like all the people that are anticipating the Santa rally, then they buy on margin, and then this is what happens: they get a big liquidity flush because the market makers, they know it's there, they can see it in a lot of cases, they see your stop losses, they know your fear, and they just run right back down into it and then scoop it all up.
Yeah,
Um,
and I was telling my Patreon yesterday too that your information is public, like your liquidation levels, your stop losses. It's all out there, right? Especially when your brokerage offers free trades like Robinhood. I think they've got caught before by selling information, and I think it's fine because they got to make money somewhere. So if you're going to get liquidated at this price, and a lot of people are going to be around the same price, then guess where they're going to send that price? They're going to send it to those levels, right? So be careful on margin. Be careful with stop losses in a bull market because it's just a ploy to take your shares.
Yeah, indeed. So, your IWM chart, could you could show it one just real quick? I noticed it looks like, you compare this to August 5th, and I kind of expect almost the three rising bars again after this.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I mean, we'll see how tomorrow closes the week. I mean, if tomorrow closes back above like 223.76, then all this was a big liquidity grab and a back test of support. Because look at this, the 236, 223, 225, whatever level is or was a resistance, right? It was resistance here, here, here. So it's just a breakout back test of that. So that'll actually be a really bullish close if it closes back above the 223.76.
Indeed.
All right,
Well,
let
let's
me
see.
jump into Tesla first. So Tesla, I have my trend-based fib extension here. And this is one reason why I don't count your chickens before they
Buck, 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 oh. That's the Cadbury Easter egg bunny. Oh no, Matt, you got muted or something. I can't hear you.
Oh, really? How did I get
Yeah.
muted? That's weird. Yeah, everybody was like, this is going to flip to support. And I'm like, yes, it's possible. It's possible. But just wait. Just wait. Like all that excitement, people want to just buy and chase. I'm like, no, that's the opposite. And I was telling my Patreon people, like, at a minimum for TSLL, just $35. Like, just wait for 35. And sure enough, it wicked right through it down to the 33s. So I think that saved a lot of people money from trying to chase this, right? Because a lot of people, I sold at 37 some TSLL, right? And it went all the way up to like 40 and stuff for the TSLL. And they're like, oh, we got to get back in. Like, no, don't do that. And sure enough, that was a perfect thing to do because that thing yesterday just went and took Tesla back down to the 330s. And there it is, right? So is Tesla really ready to break out of this 458 zone? I mean, we're going to find out maybe Friday, right? We're going to find out tomorrow. So that is going to be the target. And nothing has changed, right? I mentioned this on my weekly update. If you guys watched that on X or YouTube last Friday, that this 458 is an important level, and we're going to see if it can close above. So this is still the goal. Nothing has changed at all. No scares at all. It's still up $3 for the whole week, right up there. You can see the 3.90. Even though it's a red candle, it's still a positive week. So let's just give it some some room to breathe and see if it can, right? If it can't, then the possibility to go back and retest previous all-time highs, 414, it does exist, right? So we'll have to put that in the back of our minds. But the week's not over yet, so let's see if it can get back above this 458.
Yeah, all right. Let me show my chart. I kind of want to say that it might retest that 414 level after it peaks out. And I'm looking for that peak to come around 512 or something. I posted this chart publicly this morning to let everyone know, no matter what happens here, we're still going, I expect higher and higher. So here's the sun of weekly up here, smiling with the sun behind him on his face. The sun in front of him on his face, around 1284. Closer in, let's see on the 4-hour chart. I posted this publicly as well this morning, just saying, all right, you're here. All Tesla did yesterday was test back to the Ichimoku conversion line for support. Let's see, was it the 8-hour? I think it's the 8-hour conversion line. Or I'm sorry, almost 8-hour baseline. So one of these went right to a baseline. Maybe it was the daily baseline. There it is, right there. Price went right to the daily conversion line for support, and we're back above it again. The 1-hour chart. we're right back on top of the moving average 75, that battleground moving average between the bears and the bulls, and it's falling right inside the Ichimoku cloud here. And following through, yeah, basically right here. I still see basically from what it did yesterday, I think it kind of ruled out this being the top, and it's actually building to go a little higher. So I'm looking for 512 being the wave 3 top here. And it's possible just because of the monthly Ichimoku cloud, I'm sorry, the monthly pivot point is right here at 516.45. It could possibly extend. Why does it say different? Sorry. Here on the daily, monthly says 514.82. So we're expecting 512. It could extend a couple more dollars just to hit that monthly R3, and then an ABC down with a high B is what I'm expecting. So look forward to like not break 400. Go to like 432, then 40, and this is like everything that happens after the new year. So the end of the year we get up, and then going into the spring we get like the test back. Right here's the test that just wicks below the 414.50 all-time high. Maybe I'm being too bullish, maybe I'm a little biased. The standard retrace would take it to 382.65, but I kind of psychologically don't want to see it break below 400 again. And then after that, 710 awaits us next in July, I think. June, yeah, mid-July, 710.59 is my next target. There's Tesla. I guess I'll do DXYZ real quick because I'm right here. DXYZ, I moved my wave 2 just got a little bit lower, but it's a subwave of wave 4. So my wave 4 hasn't changed at all. Basically, the targets are the same, but actually with this extra inertia, I did decide to go ahead and move my wave, my final target up a little bit. So before I was looking for 2267. I'm looking more towards maybe 129.57. Maybe it goes at 2618 now. So anyway, this is still the block you kind of want to sell into the strength here as it approaches 130. If you wait for it and you miss it, it suddenly wicks down really fast and you're back to like 114, then 120, then $100 again. So don't be too greedy. Sell into strength as it approaches 130 for DXYZ. How about you, Matt? Do you want to do DXYZ or want me to keep going?
Yeah, you can keep going.
All right, let me do IonQ. I saw that was a request by Elizabeth. My IonQ chart, I haven't actually touched it. It looks like it got a deeper 4, which actually makes it look like a diagonal because this wave 4 doesn't have a full fibs distance between it and the wave 1 top that I've got here. But yeah, that just means it's possible that instead of stopping at 47.57, it could slightly go higher to 50.28. But again, with IonQ, be careful and sell into strength as price enters this zone. And actually sold, I had orders to sell at the top here around 44 or so. I thought I'd have more time to buy in back here, but man, that was a quick flush. Yeah, IonQ, and then based off of 47.57, IonQ retraces to 26.92 for a standard 61.4% retrace or 61.8% retrace. However, it goes a little bit higher. It just ends a little higher. So instead of 26.92, maybe it'll stop around 29 or 30. All right, there's IonQ. That's Elizabeth's request. Grab. Oh, let me do ACHR real quick. This is Arthur.
I see a comment about, yes, I'm going to get some inside information on Nancy Pelosi when I'm in California.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's
But I think
exactly
the
what I'm
security
thinking.
around the
That's
place
my
is
point.
extra tight these days, ever since her husband got attacked.
Oh yeah.
Arbitration, same thing. I was expecting 1590 to bounce off of the moving average 75 on the 1 hour chart. I think it's even more likely now we could see 1679 instead. So look for Archer again, but don't be too greedy. Sell into strength as price approaches this area between 1594 and 1697. It could even go to the 2618 for a crazy melt up, but don't count on it. I think it had monthly pivots as well. Yeah, the monthly pivot goes to publicly for everybody already this morning. It could even go to 1865, which is the monthly R3, which if it gets close enough to this 2618, it's going to have some magnetism, which could pull it up there. But yeah, this is probably this. You've made enough money. Just go ahead and take your profit in this box right here. That was a really good run. We started. I think I called the bottom down here about 650. By the time I said it, $677 each hour.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna do Mara and CLSK next, and people want to see my or my DXYZ chart. I'm not really a fan of charting that one in public, but it is on my Patreon every single day. And I was telling people 61 was the target to buy yesterday in my Patreon all day long, and it hit. It hit like just a little bit below. So people were surprised and mesmerized at the same time. So I don't know if you saw that post. Did you see that post on Telegram?
For which one?
How I was saying 61 was the target the whole day, even before the meltdown for DXYZ yesterday. DXYZ.
Oh, DXYZ.
Yeah, and it hit.
No,
it hit like 1696 or something. There's some things I just save for the Patreon people. And what we have here is Mara. And what is this? It's just a back test of the cloud on the baseline. And I don't know about you, but when has a back test of stock on a weekly cloud or a baseline or anything been a bearish scenario? When has that ever happened? I don't think so. I think it's bullish, right? Breakout, back test, building a base on top of the cloud here, getting ready to go, right? Just not a bearish scenario at all. So people giving up on miners, I think it's still the incorrect thing to do. And what we see here is CLSK is next. So it's just going to take more time, a little bit more time for Mara to get more bullish. But CLSK, it did go below this 50% level, 1207. I was talking about that yesterday. But when I take everything off, just to see, do I really want to still be in this stock? I know some people have been selling it and freaking out about it. But when I just look at the market symmetry of it all, look at this angle. Was a really, really big resistance. Now it's a support. So even if it takes more time, and wants to do something like this, up this little wedge, this little bitty triangle right there, it's proven to me that it still wants to go higher over time, whether that's earlier next year, later next year, or whatever. This is why I don't really do options, because I can be patient with this completely. So I love it. And if it actually did go back down to $9, guess what? I would be a buyer, because you know why? I was a buyer here at $8. I was a buyer here just a little bit at the low eights, right? Around 8 something, and then 850, and then $9. I was a buyer in this zone completely, and I would be a buyer again. So this is something that doesn't scare me at all. This market symmetry is beautiful. So it doesn't matter how deep it goes, but I think this $12 range is kind of something that it wants to hold as support. And why is that? It's because the Bollinger Band is the 20-week moving average. It wants to close above, I think, right? And it's at 1161, and price pre-market is 1187, so it's above it pre-market. So a wick below it, close above. So it's not a guarantee to go down there. This is why I'm still very bullish on it, because I think it can just be a back test to go higher. So CLSK is still looking fine. High time frame, that's all I care about. It doesn't matter how long it takes, because I see the possibility to go much higher, and possibly even to the next level up here, the 50s, right? So we'll take it one level at a time. So the first level it's got to get back above is 1370 right here. All right.
All right.
And
oh yeah, you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can show something, but I just want to show. I want to pretend I'm going to play the and show you on the weekly Bollinger Bands. It's getting.
Oh no, your audio from your house is breaking up now. What's going on with you over there, Tracker?
No,
this is
it
not
can't
like
possibly be.
Oh, it was. It was.
Oh my God. Well, let me just say again. I know because again, like when I switch charts, I think is when it does. Tomorrow, here, it's starting to expand the range. Monthly chart. Stop talking. Oh, it's already preloaded. It's also looking like, it just kind of wants it's the animal that wants to poop the price out higher and higher. So here's the monthly logarithmic scale, and we just want to see, maybe it just wants to come in a little tighter before it starts to expand the Bollinger Bands up and down. That's all I was going to say about that. I saw, let's see. I'm sorry. Someone was asking about golden parachute. They was asking about the order blocks. Let's look at the 1 hour. Right now, Winter has everyone wants to buy down here below 60. To probably isn't going to get back there. Well, it could at the open. And then the next sell wall it starts about $73, 72.80s. So there you go, golden parachute. But I think it's going to break through that. Let's look at a higher time frame. Yeah, here we go. Higher time frame. The sell wall is everywhere from through $82, $83. I think that's going to break through all that and just keep going for DXYZ. Let's see. Connell did get a bigger wave too, but it's still size inside of my skipping to the end. Whenever it gets there, I still see Connell going to 222. It's going to take a while.
Oh man, Tracker, your audio. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it today. Somebody was saying about it could be somebody using a microwave. I don't.
Maybe I need to change the which channel I'm broadcasting my Wi-Fi on.
Yeah, you never had this problem at home before, so I think it followed you from Michigan. That's what it happened. I got a coin chart real quick though before you move on to MicroStrategy. Yeah, Coinbase here, and hopefully you can make your router closer to your microphone or computer or something. I don't know. But Coinbase here, yeah, it got a little bit lower than I expected, right? I didn't expect it to go down lower, but then I did a daily recap yesterday on Patreon, and it's like, maybe this gap wants to get closed. It never got closed. Maybe this 273.50 wants to hit. And today would be the day to do it, right? Or tomorrow. But guess what? It's going up, and it's maintaining the arc as support if it opens up above pre-market. So maybe it's not, because I think closing this gap would be like the obvious move. I was talking to Kat about it last night, actually, and I was like, yeah, maybe this is the obvious move, so it's not going to happen. Like, people are expecting it to close, so they're going to be like, psych, and just send it higher again. So we'll see. But all I'm focused on for the whole time, for the past month and a half, all I've really cared about is maintaining this arc, right? Because this 318.95 has been resistance. I just want to be building a base on top of this arc, which it is still. Even pre-market, it's up here, not down here. So it's still just building a base. And all it did yesterday is really retest this wick again right here, which was like the 283. So this still is an extremely bullish chart on the high time frame. And when we look here on the Ichimoku, it still hasn't even back tested that conversion line. It's like really, really far above it, while other stocks are back testing their levels. This one still hasn't. So I think extremely bullish chart, regardless of selling off yesterday, right? Just a matter of time, building a base on top of a higher level, getting ready to go higher. Maybe just needs more time waiting for these averages to catch up to price before it really wants to go higher. All right, Tracker. Now you want to your MSTX?
Sure. MSTX, the chart looks complicated. I posted this for my subscribers. But basically, it did make a lower wave 2 low here. So I've adjusted all my targets going forward. I'm looking for an ABC retrace with sort of a high A, medium B, and then a higher C instead of going to 61.8. I'm looking for it to go all the way to 88.2. So I'd love to see a nice V-shaped recovery that takes it to 113.80 next, then back down to about 100, and then I'm looking for your 141 after that, 141.4 fib retracement extension for $140.18, and then maybe that becomes like the wave 3, or maybe this is like a minor degree 1, 2, 3, and then eventually this goes up to 230, then 150, then 360, 280, and come on, there we go, 570. So I've adjusted my 2382 is now for 570 sometime in 2025, and 5x or more than 5x return where MSTX is right now.
All right.
Great things are coming for Bitcoin. Let's see. You want to look at Palantir? Did Palantir take any damage yesterday? I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah, I'll look at Palantir. No damage. No damage at all, right? 71.51 still was not even a back test of the 1.618. It already did that on Wednesday. It didn't do it Wednesday of last week. But this yesterday, it held support perfectly. So people that are short or they think it's going lower, I think this 69.15 is going to surprise a lot of people. And it's just building a base on top of it. And I think it's going to just continue its trend higher and try to break this log scale fib right here of 78.13 above sooner than later.
Pretty cool. I did, for H, I've got Grab here. Thanks, Matt. Grab, I've got a for this. So like on the weekly time frame chart, I'm looking for an ABC retrace, just a standard retrace back to 61.8% fib retracement from its previous all-time high of $18.11. So it's still on its way to the A wave top of 38.2% at $8.27. Here, I'll just put this on the screen. You can take a screenshot. All it did yesterday was it came back and retested the monthly center pivot point, 2 cents. A little bit, but we're right back just to it right now, but by a penny. So yeah, I'm still looking for 827 next. 5, and then finish out at 1203. 3 or 5 waves down, build a larger degree, 1, 2, and go higher, make new all-time highs in 2025 or 2020. I don't know, my charts don't do timing very well. I can't actually tell you when the C wave up, but it's probably going to finish it sooner than 2027. What else we got here on the requests? I see Huma. I could do Humana. I'm sorry, it's Humacyte. This chart did take a little bit of damage yesterday. I'm going to have to just readjust these price targets a little bit. But basically, my next wave target is still the 618, 854 back to 654, 1378 back to 978, and then is that the 232? Never mind, hang on. And you know what? The sell order walls look the same way too. Let's do it. 764, 382, 1327, 100%. There you go. You can just take a screenshot of that. And the prices are on the right here. So I'm looking for $9.78 next, then $6.54, then $15.01, then $11.78, and then $23.48 for Humacyte. How about you, Matt? Do you have one on deck?
Oh yeah, I see a Shopify. Let me get to my charty. So the 114.67 was supposed to hold, and I'm disappointed it's not holding right now. So this is the goal to close tomorrow above the 114.67. The week's not over yet. It still can. If it can do it, it would be the fourth week in a row to close above that, which would be the definition of building a base at a higher level. But if it closes below, guess what, guys? It has the potential to go back down to the 90s, maybe 98, maybe even the 702 below at 96.86. So it's not a bearish chart at all. It broke out. It made a higher high. It's just cooling off a little bit. So let's focus on this 114.67 for tomorrow. If it can close back above it, then I think there's a chance to go to 140. But if it cannot, then just give it more time, give it more space, because it was a massive breakout, and it might take weeks or even months to cool down a little bit before making its next leg higher. So let's watch that 114.67 super duper closely.
Go ahead and do another chart if you want. I'm building Oscar here, Oscar Health.
Okay, Uber. I see the Uber. Bottom of the cloud, it's holding, right? It's inside right now. We can see it closed the week last week below. I was a little bit cautious, and I'm like, you know what? If it doesn't reclaim the cloud next week, I said that last week, next week, it's going to probably go lower. And how much lower would it go? Maybe back down to the 100-week moving average at 57.19. So when I look at this, when I take everything off and just look at the market symmetry of it all, I can just see that it is a bullish chart, right? It's right now from the bottom here in June, just a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and a perfect back test of the orange level, just breaking higher, almost even a perfect back test of the arc, but not quite, and it's still making higher lows. So as long as this market structure stays intact and it doesn't go lower than this August 5th low there, 54, then I think it can still just gravitate over time to the blue level above, which is 117. So the goal right now is just to stay in the cloud, right? Just stay in the cloud and don't go lower. And that cloud sits right there around 61.30. So just stay in that range, build a base on top of the cloud, and then slowly go higher.
All right, Matt, I have built Oscar by request. RG asked for it here. Excuse me, let's do this. So this is really nice from its all-time high, kind of opened high, and then has been testing support all this time. Well, from the bottom here, $2.05, it did make an ABC, the 61.8% retrace, and now with this move yesterday, is sort of confirmed through my larger degree 1, 2. And so my wave extensions from 205 to here and here will give us 5 waves up. I'm going to go 764, 382, 1382, 100, 2382 to $64.91. And I just need to pull this in a little bit tighter. Yeah, it could end up looking a lot like this. And even based on timing. So it could go 386% higher in about 483 calendar days projected, based on how prices have been moving so far with it. So there you go. There's Oscar. You can take your screenshot. All the prices are on the right.
The price is right. That's all I heard.
Yeah, exactly.
The price is right. Yeah, I'll do. We can do one more on this beautiful day. Do we do MicroStrategy yet, or did I do it yet? Or
you didn't do MicroStrategy. I kind of looked at MSTX, and
yeah,
so DNW says I'm so late, but don't worry. All these shows are recorded. You can go back and rewatch them on Matt's YouTube stream.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Maybe if I have an intern one day, I'll have them put timestamps on them again. But right meow, I'm just super duper 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 busy. I have no time to sleep even. Good God. But that's a good thing. I'm not complaining.
H said
And what
something
we
hilarious, which is that audio is getting distorted due to the fantasy targets, which are not practical for now. I love that.
No, but I think that's what makes this show good. Like, you give the possibilities for the future, and I'm like looking at more of like the short term to see where they need to stay. So I think
Yeah,
it's a good combination.
we do make a
But
good comment.
let's just go to my MicroStrategy and show you what's really the target for this week to get back above this weekly conversion line of 373.96. And this is 363.95 pre-market. And what did price do yesterday? Well, we'll go to the daily chart and see, oh my God, it went down exactly and hit the 1.414 again at 339.67. It went to 338. So this is another beautiful, perfect back test. And this is more proof. It's just building a base at a higher level. And it doesn't really want to go lower yet. So is it going to explode higher immediately? Probably not. And I mentioned that yesterday because it started to go below the conversion line and the baseline on the daily chart. So we can see that the resistance is still going to be 387 up here. But if tomorrow can close back above this 373.96, then I think the possibility to just keep riding this conversion line as a support all the way up to the 540s is there. So if it closes below, then maybe a short-term loss of momentum and maybe just more base building on top of here before wanting to go higher. But nothing is broken on this chart at all. It just keeps holding this 1.414, 339.67 perfectly. So as long as things keep holding support perfectly, I do not assume they're going to break down because the chart has to prove it to me first. And Tracker, did I lose you? Did you run away? Did you get abducted by aliens again?
The mute button. I'm so sorry. I was just saying it would be really cool if you guys took a screenshot of this, and if you're a person that does options, you can basically follow that GAN angle, and there's your bottom shelf for where your options should go to. Anyway, DNW had to get a second job after that market sell-off yesterday. Well, don't worry, you can quit that job tomorrow because I think things are going to recover in a V-shaped recovery. 907. You know, Matt, I just have this one final thought, which is I think that you and I were like peanut butter and jelly because you're like peanut butter because you're sticky and delicious and nutritious. And I'm just jealous of how good you are. I'm jelly.
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly time. Ice cream cake, ice cream cake, ice cream cake, ice cream cake. All right, well, with that, Matt, how about your last words?
The last words is I'm not afraid of that dip yesterday. I actually was reading a lot of comments on X yesterday saying that they're going more into cash, and I got some DMs saying that this could be the start of the bear market, right? And I'm like, really? People actually think this is how the bear market starts? No. Things are still breaking levels. Some things still haven't broken into all-time highs, and they're still well above their 786 Fibonacci level, which means they probably will break into all-time highs. So my thesis has not changed. Things are still beginning. I still think Coinbase is going to go to the thousands. I still think Tesla is going to the thousands. I still think Palantir is going to the hundreds. Nothing has changed my thesis, and if you had cash yesterday, the liquidity grab was a great opportunity on those wicks.
Indeed, it was. Indeed.
That's it. All right. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Any last words for you, Tracker?
I'll just say what the end does look like. The end of a cycle like this. It's a huge melt up candle, like just an ungodly vertical candle. When the candles all go vertical, that's when you know that it's near the end of the cycle. And then you get a correction that looks like it could recover, and then it makes like a lower high that almost looks like it could get a little higher, and then the bulls get trapped and they just slowly grind it back down a little bit longer, and then it recovers up a little bit, and you think, okay, maybe now it's going to go higher.
This is a perfect example right here. What you're talking about. MicroStrategy. Back in July or February 2021, when you ever see a monthly candle with a huge wick like this, that's usually an indication that it's a topping formation, right? The monthly
Yeah.
candle looks like it doesn't want to go higher, and then the following month even tries to go higher, but it can't, and then the next month tries to go higher and it can't. Like that's what you're talking about. It's like teasing you that it's trying to go higher, but it inevitably can't. Like that's really the topping formation, and we didn't get that with MicroStrategy, right? There is a wick, but not like a big wick like that, right? And still, this candle's not doing anything except building a base at this 1.414.
Exactly.
So there we go.
Don't worry, guys. When the melt up comes, we will let you know. This isn't it. Yesterday was just a surprise liquidity grab. That's all.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, same time.
Same Cat Matt channel.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Take care, everybody.